Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, what's up, folks?
What's up, your test tube babies?
You know what time it is. It must be Tuesday evening at 8 p.m.
It ain't Taco Tuesday. It's
time for In Touch with the Miller Boys, your weekly local talk show where we discuss all things impacting the African American community of the city of Fresno and the surrounding area. Tonight, I think we're going to be a little bit more national in some of the discussion that we have. As always, please make sure that you send us messages. We can respond in real time. If you log on, if you've got us on Facebook right now, if you send us some comments, hopefully we'll be able to keep up with it as we're going through. But as always, get your census done. Please go to 2020census.org and complete your census form. We have to make sure that we get counted, and this is for all people. Citizenship doesn't matter. Whether you've been on Earth for 1 day doesn't matter. Whether you've been here for 101 days doesn't matter. We need to account for everybody that's in the Fresno area so that we can get our slice of the pie as the services are being sent out. Remember, we are projected to be around 600,000 people. We are a major metropolitan area, major metropolitan city, not only in California, being the 5th largest city in California, but also in the whole United States. There's only 29 or 30 other cities that are larger than Fresno. So we need to make sure that we get our slice of the pie. And so please make sure you go to 2020census.org, 2020census.org, and get your census completed as fast as you can. And if you've already done your census, then you need to go back in and you need to re-register to vote. KP, there we go. We're getting fancy now. So please go. You can visit this website here. It is register to vote. So all letters, no numbers. Register to vote.ca for California.gov. And that will take you to the site that's on the screen right now, the Secretary of State's site, Alex Padilla. And you can go on there and register. I am encouraging people not only to get registered, if it's your first time, if you're 18 or it's your first time that you're going to be voting in a long time. But I'm also encouraging people to go in and re-register. Because remember, in November, in the state of California, everybody's going to be a vote-by-mail voter, which means everybody's getting their ballots mailed to them at home, and then you're going to have a couple of different ways or 3 different ways to be able to send the ballots back. But the safeguards that are put in place is your signature. And so if you have not registered to vote since you was 18 and you're 70, your signature has changed. If you've had a health condition, a heart attack, stroke, stress, your signature is going to change. So please make sure that you go back in there and re-register. If you've moved to a different house, different address, please make sure you go in and get re-registered so that you make sure that you're on the rolls. Because again, 100% of the people in California are going to have the opportunity to vote by mail, which means the ballot is sent to you at home. You complete it at home, put it in an envelope, put it back in the United States mail with no stamp, and it gets there. Or you can take it to one of the voting centers, drop it off in person, or you can go to one of the drop boxes that are going to be up and around. We'll talk more about that as we get closer. But I want to make sure that everybody gets, one, get your census done. Two, make sure that you are re-registering the vote so that you make sure that you're actively accounted for. So that's my intro, G-Mia.
Oh, okay. I say stay hydrated.
Yeah, high water. She got in there some CBD, THC. No?
It's hotter than the devil's undercarriage around here in Fresno this happy day. I'm going to start with a joke my friend told me.
Don't mess it up.
Oh, it's already butchered.
All right.
She said, don't go to bed with a laxative and sleeping pills. You might wake up messy. Teresa? Man,
Yeah,
I want to
okay.
start it because I want to start it that way because one, it is hot, and I'm kind of hot because I'm getting sick of people getting killed out here for no reason, and people calling the police on them for no reason and stuff like that.
You're talking about a different type of temperature. I thought you was going to talk about the heat wave we got going on right now first here in the Central Valley.
Stay hydrated. Stay
Yeah,
indoors.
but it's going to be serious. It's supposed to be 105 tomorrow.
What you want to do? To go out and run track?
The biggest deal is, especially when you've got people who are elderly, disabled, that are at home, and it's going to be a lot of people now because of
Make them take a bath.
what's going on with the COVID virus. We got a lot of people who normally may not be at home who are there, and so just make sure that you're checking on people.
Okay.
As Gerald said, make sure you hydrate. Soda is not hydration. Alcohol is not hydration. Water is what you need to get into your body to make sure that your body regulates.
Good old H2O from the water boy.
But it's going to be hot until Friday, I believe it is, over 100 degrees. And it's big because last week it was in the 70s. So that's a 30-degree change. And even normal people, healthy people, have a trouble adjusting. I want to take a nap today. I want to take a nap in forever. And I'm in pretty good shape.
What time you get up?
I get up every morning about 6:30,
Time you go to bed?
6:45. 11, 12, something like that. As long as I get 5 hours sleep, I'm pretty good. But today,
you in that nap range. That's why. That's all I'm saying.
Today, I think it's because of the heat, though, man.
Oh, it's hot.
It got the best of me today, so I
It's
want to
hot.
take a nap and couldn't. So anyway, I'm on fumes. I go to sleep tonight and
Also,
wake up tomorrow.
If you're on right now, share. Please share. Get the word out. Watch it live. Hit us with the questions if you have questions.
So you want to go deep, or you still want to say?
It don't matter. You know me, man.
Okay, so-
you got 1 hour. You got less than 1 hour now to pick
Okay,
the mind of the genius.
Graduation 2020. I want to give a shout out to everybody, the young people, old people, because it's not all just high school graduations. We've got Fresno City College, Reedley College, the community colleges, and Fresno State had graduations over the last couple of weeks. The high school graduations are starting now. I believe it's now. They've got different ceremonies, virtual ceremonies and things that are going on. But I want to wish everybody a happy graduation from Darren Miller personally. From Darren Miller, the 2020 graduate. Remember, I got my officially graduated in 2020 with my doctoral degree from Fresno State, so I'm part of the class as well. I want to say congratulations, and don't, as I said earlier on this video I did, don't fret. Don't be upset. Don't be disappointed. You are going to do great things. Each of you are going to do great things in your own way, in your own time, in your own method. Just hold fast to what's going on. Things will change, and I believe this coronavirus is going to create a whole bunch of opportunities for young people just like yourselves in this new world that we're going to be going into. So my nephew, shout out to my nephew, graduated from Southern Oregon University. Congratulations. Who else graduated? Anyone else family graduate? I think that's everybody this year that I know. Turney, Chauncey Turney, Clovis West, congratulations. Those are only two that I know of. I don't even know of any college graduates this year. So anyway, I apologize if I missed you. It wasn't my intent. So have you really talked to Michael? About graduation and not being able to go through the ceremony and those type of
You know,
things?
you got to give me more information. I don't quite know what you're asking me. How about
Have you had a conversation with him about how he is? Is he? I mean, is there any disappointment? Is he looking
Well,
forward?
he's disappointed. He's disappointed. He was looking forward to walking the stage and graduating, but you know, you have to clarify to me and give me more information. I told him, you know. Okay, my fault, your mistake.
So anyway, hopefully you guys
But
you can hear us
So
as
we
we go through.
so we went up and we spent some time with him 2 weekends ago, I think it was. Took pictures of his round and rounds and his understandings about what's going on up there, and you know he seems to be okay. He seems to understand his issues, and I'm patting myself because it's hot for those folks out there, but. He understands. He's got a good grip on it. I don't, you know, I try to raise my children not to dwell on the small things of, you know. So
yeah, I haven't had a conversation with him. We've texted back and forth, just kind of some messages. But I plan on calling, having a conversation with him, just kind of about what's next, how to go through it, some avenues to be able to help him figure out what he. I mean, I don't know if he's going to plan on staying up there, if he's coming back. I don't know all those things. So I have those
he ain't
conversations.
coming back.
I'll have
He's
those
not coming
conversations
back.
with him.
But
Because you know, now like you said, now he got his paper. The world is a big clam, oyster, whatever shellfish you like. Just opening up to him, and he can take advantage of it any way he wants to. But he's got to have. I'm talking to him also about planning. Got to have a plan A, plan B, plan C, and all of them are going to be successful. And you may be able to accomplish all three of them. It just may not be in that order. You may get B first done, and then C, and then A. But once you get your college degree, man, it's all about the race is over. Now you're into the journey of using it. And so I'll have that conversation with him. But anyway, what's up, Sam? I see you on there. Congratulations. I don't think let us know if little Che, I think he's 11th grader, huh?
he's with Marcus, I believe.
Yeah,
Or
so
you're
he'll be
behind.
next year. What's up, Dave Murillo? See you, brother. My Rough Rider brother. How you doing, fella? So that's the superficial stuff I wanted to talk about. I'm trying to stay away from my anger, frustration.
Oh, let it out, man. Don't suppress that.
No, that's not a matter of suppression. It's just a matter of, you know, just like
Anger.
It's just like my man said on the way over here. Listened to some stuff on the radio, quoting Fannie Lou Hamer. Sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yeah, but do you know what why we have emotions?
Because we're human. That's what separates us from monkeys.
Emotions are designed as warnings for you to make a change. So if you stay there, if you shun off your anger and keep suppressing it and put it away, my thought on that subject, personal thought, is that God is sending you this so that you can move that rock. Book I read by Lisa Nichols talks about the folks that were sitting on the porch and the dog always moaned. And then she asked the lady, "Why does your dog moan?" And then she said, "Oh, that dog is okay." "Well, why is he moaning?" He said, "When he get enough and he get tired of it, he'll move off of that nail. The dog is on a nail. But as long as he's lazy, he's going to stay on that nail, and it's going to continue to irritate and agitate, and he's going to moan. When he gets tired of it, he'll move." So to all you folks out there, when you don't like something, when you get tired of it, then you can put action behind what you're talking about. That's what your emotion is for, your anger, your insecurities. All your emotions are designed to keep you in a place of vigilance. That's what emotions are for, not because we're human. We're all animals.
Not all animals have emotion. Other than they have flight, feeding, procreating, and flight. That's just the humanistic world. So I hear what you're saying, though. You're talking about the utilization of the utilization of your emotions, but you also can't go through life living through your emotions. You also have to understand. So
So you're talking about the cerebral world that separates you from your emotions. So if you don't have emotions, then you're just gonna be.
everybody has emotion. Well, I shouldn't say everybody, but unless you've got some kind of psychological break or something physiologically wrong with you.
So now we're back to my conversation we had last week or the week before about me saying the African American plight here, or African Americans are schizophrenic here, because you have to suppress your emotions, and that's what I'm telling you, in order to get along in this world. Because if we didn't suppress our emotions, there would be a dead police officer in Minneapolis. There would be a dead police officer in...
I don't know if I would call it suppression. Suppression means that you are forcibly doing that. I think
That's what I am saying.
I don't agree with that.
You don't agree with that?
Everybody
No.
doesn't suppress their emotions. Some people learn how to navigate and use their emotions. They use them for cover. You're a police officer. You've run across people, I'm sure, that you've been arresting, that you have cornered, that'll break out laughing. That's not their true emotion.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about when you corner a person, could be that you've caught a shoplifter, or I'm going to suspend a kid in education, and all of a sudden they break out laughing.
Right. That's called coping mechanisms.
Right, but
that's
that's
a coping mechanism to suppress their true emotions or angers.
Or it's a sign of deflection.
Well, coping mechanisms are a sign of deflection so that you can suppress, once again, actively put what you are feeling in a box so you don't have to deal with that. And if you continue to deal with those and put those in a box so you don't deal with them, or deal with them, then you're going to have a psychotic break.
How come it can't be a situation where you're using your emotions to diminish whatever the threat is?
Because then that is a higher cerebral understanding of your emotions.
That's what I'm saying. If you corner a Chihuahua, a little Chihuahua dog, he ain't gonna just holler.
He ain't gonna bust out laughing either.
He gonna break out with his teeth. He gonna make you think like
That's
he's
laughter.
I don't know if that's necessarily laughter, because dogs don't laugh. But I'm saying
that's a defensive mechanism that he's using. He is ready to fight you.
but that's not a suppression.
I'm not saying I'm saying that African Americans here in America suppress their emotions so they don't get hit in the head with a stick, so that they can, like Killer Mike says, survive or navigate the issue.
I have difficulties agreeing with you about the suppression,
Of course you do.
because some of it's
Of course you do.
some of it is done intentionally as a deflection to get heat off of you,
Like what?
like laughter, like being nice, changing your clothes.
To me, when somebody starts laughing, that means that they're going to have a psychotic episode or break. You immediately then start to talk to the person and try to calm them down from the efforts that send them to the other side. Because once they go to the other side, they will win the war, they will win the battles.
What if it's done
Such as Toussaint in Haiti.
I don't know.
Of course you
I mean,
do,
I
but
know
that's
who
okay.
he is, but I don't know his story. So what
Research
about a
General
person
Toussaint.
doing it intentionally?
Somebody who do what?
Somebody using their emotions.
Okay, did you watch the part series on Michael Jordan?
I watched 6 of them.
Okay,
I know I didn't see the last 2.
I watched the last 2, but I've been listening to people talk about how he had to tell himself. And I'm gonna that just popped something else into my head. Shout out Raymond Moultrie. When we were kids, they psyched themselves out in order to meet their opponent, and think that they had something against the opponent, which would drive their emotions even harder, so that they would do even better on the battlefield, the court, the baseball field.
That's in Sun Tzu, Art of War. That's the strategy and technique that he talks about. And I don't remember when that was from. I read the book a long time ago. But yeah, that's
So what I'm saying is that folks need to, what I was expressing to you is, speak. If you're upset, speak about it. Don't let your emotions, don't suppress your emotions.
as I said, I just have a difficulty with the word suppression. because
Don't submerge your emotions. Let's not say suppress. Let's say submerge. You gotta. Okay, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes to get the horse across the water.
agreed. Sometimes they drown. Sometimes they make it. Sometimes
When they drown,
Sometimes
when they drown, what do you do with them?
I don't do nothing. I ain't never had a horse drown, but I wouldn't do nothing with them.
You eat him.
No, I wouldn't.
Okay.
No, I wouldn't. Well, that wouldn't be playing A, B, or C.
Yeah.
That might be playing KLM down the line or something, but
Yeah.
that ain't gonna be the first three spots. But anyway, so this whole thing with suppression and schizophrenia and stuff leads us back to what's going on. One is indicative of a person who used his emotions to deflate a situation. And he's a person who, I know he was mad as hell. The dude in New York City, in not Times Square, in Central Park in New York. I know he was mad as hell, have to go through what he had to go through, but he used his intellect through the situation. The person who was basically hiding their emotions was the white woman who was yelling about her being threatened by her life. You could see her emotions going up and down, trying to find the appropriate response from him. I'm going to call the police. I'm going to tell them this. And he, I know he's mad as hell. I'm going to make an assumption he was mad as hell. He was able then to mask, as you said, suppress, I don't use that word, but to mask his emotions to appropriately fit the situation there. And what was the end result of that?
The police came.
Mm-hmm.
They were both gone. They contacted her. She gave her statement. He went and contacted his sister. His sister, one of them put it on Twitter. One of them put it on YouTube, and it went viral. Mm-hmm. They contacted her. Her employer was contacted. She was subsequently fired.
Yeah, so I did hear that.
And her dog was a rescue, and she either returned the rescue dog or they came and got the dog.
Oh, I didn't know that part. I knew she had lost her job. They originally put her on suspension, and then subsequently, a couple hours later, reviewed the policy, and they terminated her. I forget the name of the company. I guess it's a pretty well-known company there in New York where she worked for. Interesting. Okay. So the dude was a Harvard grad, right?
I don't know about that.
He
was out watching birds.
He was an Ivy League graduate. I do know that. I just don't remember which school it was.
And the situation is that he wasn't threatened, and he simply asked the lady to put her dog on the leash because in Central Park in that area, there's a leash law. Mm-hmm. So I don't understand why he would have to get upset or be upset.
Her response, her yelling and screaming at him about her calling the police and all the thoughts that it probably went through his mind about this chick's gonna call the police. They're probably gonna side with her. Just a whole emotional trip that went through. I don't know. I don't know the guy's size.
Another book. Do you know why zebras don't have ulcers?
No, I don't.
Because they don't worry about it.
What animal do get ulcers other than humans?
I don't know. I haven't done that research. The book was about zebras.
So why do you bring? You can extrapolate that to any animal, though. I don't know if animals have ulcers.
You just said they don't, according to what you said, because they don't have emotions.
They have basically three emotions: food, flight,
food,
safety,
shelter, and water.
And shelter. Well, no, not shelter.
Food, shelter, and
procreation, sex, having sex, reproducing their species. Those are the three driving forces behind most animals.
See, I'm gonna get him there. Before this is all over with, he gonna understand about
that's psychology,
racism, white supremacy.
Ask Michael about that part of it. Michael could be able to tell you that. I know that's foundational psychology. Talking about the difference between man.
So then, let me ask you this question: What's wrong with African Americans?
PTSD. PTSD. If you continuously do a negative act to a person, the person who is receiving that negative act will either kill themselves, go crazy, or develop survival skills to be able to deal with the negative action that impacts them.
So you do know what I'm talking about.
I don't agree with suppression.
What is PTSD? To go through those three things again.
The outcomes. If you got a negative action that happens to you,
Okay.
you kill yourself,
Right?
you have a psychological break because you don't know where the ins or outs are, and you can't deal with it psychologically, or you develop strategies to be able to live in this negative environment.
The last two you said were basically suppression.
No.
How can you
No.
how can you develop strategies to deal with a negative issue and not suppress
Abusive
it?
relationships. Abusive
Do tell.
relationships. I mean, that's the quintessential example that you give. Why do people who are abusive, why do the abused stay with the abuser?
There's a lot of different reasons.
Correct. But it's not all a matter of suppression. It's a matter of, sometimes it could be.
No, it's not always a matter of, I didn't mean to cut you off, but it's not always a matter of suppression, but it always tiptoes around that lake of suppression. If you don't like somebody and you have to be touched or talked to or you have to be able to suppress those emotions in order to deal with that subject until you have that psychological break. And we are talking about the African American experience in the United States.
There are African American married couples who live in the same household because it's economically the best decision for them to do so.
Correct.
So what is the suppression that goes along with that?
Their marriage.
That's the suppression?
They're going to suppress the fact that in our culture you're supposed to do X, Y, and Z in a marriage. Why not just have a business relationship then? Why do you have to be married to?
Because they're married at the time that their fondness, their connectivity to one another breaks. I agree with you that if they're not in a married situation and the best thing to do is for them to be in a business relationship, and if they have social interactions and other kind of stuff, then great. But if you're in a marriage and you find out that this is yin, this is yang, and it ain't working.
No, this is yin and this is yin, and it ain't working. Yin and yang go together. The balance of one side and the other side.
Okay, yin and yin, yang and yang, water and oil. I know they don't mix.
If you shake them up hard enough.
But they don't stay that way. That's a perfect example.
But you got to keep shaking them.
But anyway.
So the question is, as a human being that is able to understand that you can leave that situation, it might be difficult to leave that situation economically, emotionally, or whatever it is that you charge that. You make a choice to suppress your emotions to stay in that situation. I understand you don't agree, but that's
because they're in some of these relationships that I know of, they're doing everything they want to do. So whatever it was,
okay.
But whatever that was not happening,
like
they weren't getting from the other person they were married to, is economically feasible, best decision for themselves as well as the children and whatever the household is. It's the best for them to stay in a cohabiting situation. And it didn't make sense to me, okay, but it worked for them. So what they say, if you like it, I love it. What's that saying? You love it, I like it. Whatever it is, flip-flopping around.
With half my life being over, if that's how you operate, you could go stand over there by yourself.
I got you. It's not a matter that we have to agree, but I think that we have to acknowledge that our norm is not the norm for everybody.
And that's what's messing up the world. Everybody, you need to be like me. You need to have ideas and understand this like me.
What'd you say? You said everybody can't be a yin and a yang.
Right.
Some people have to be oil and water. Sun and ice. They don't mix. Ice
Sun and ice.
You get too much ice, sun is diminished. You get too much sun, the ice is diminished.
Okay.
Hot and cold. So I got you. I just don't think that everybody goes through the actual process of suppressing emotions. I think that they turn them on and off. They use them situationally. I see that working with kids who don't really understand their emotions. You got a kid comes through my door ready to kill the world. After having a conversation with him, now he's leaving out of my office crying like a little baby, or vice versa. Come in emotionally wrecked, have a conversation, and they're leaving out ready to take on the world.
So would you leave the world up to the emotions of a child?
What do you mean the world? I leave their world up to their emotions. I think it's inappropriate, unprofessional for me, and that's what gets me in trouble a lot of times, is that I refuse to impose my beliefs on another person, although I'm not going to let anybody else try. A great example is I talk about the first time I had a transgender student. Boy transitioned to a girl who wanted to be called by a girl's name. I told him that I had issues with that. I have a problem with that. So how can we come up with a suitable way for us to have our relationship? I'm going to be your counselor. You're going to be my student for 2 years. How are we going to work this out? So we came up with a name, a gender-neutral name that was acceptable for both of us. Okay. When I share that story with people, there have been people from the LGBT community who get fiercely upset with me because in their mind, I imposed my beliefs and my vision of right and wrong, straight and gay upon my student. They didn't see it as a give and exchange, that the student needs to understand your status as a transgender or person does not carry any more weight than a person who's a religious zealot or an atheist or a straight person or whatever. You need to honor and accept and acknowledge people where they are, and then if you have differences around that, then you discuss those. But you just can't go into every room thinking that everybody's against you. And that's kind of, my 3Bs gets in the way all the time. My big black and baldness gets in the way all the time. The people and how they respond and react to me. So when you say, that's why I think I have the pushback on the suppression. Because in every room I go in, I got to deal with my 3Bs. And I don't suppress it, but I've come up with ways and strategies to be able to overcome that. I think that's what people need to do with their emotions. You can't suppress them. I agree with you. That's not healthy. But it also is not healthy to go through the room sharing, displaying, and exhibiting all your emotions also. That's as counterproductive as suppressing them. So I just believe that people who are successful, people who are doing well, people who are comfortable, have found that happy mix and that balancing act between the two. What's up, Brandon King? He disagrees. I don't know. Who you disagree with, me or Gerald? Numb to you don't like how. Oh, talk about the relationships. No, so you get numb. Okay. If you're numb, then that is a suppression. Can be a suppression. Could also be a physiological deal. But anyway, what's up, Teresa Calvin? I see you on there, Brandon King. I'm not sure who's on your side. I am getting messages tonight, though. What's up, Aunt Kim? What's up, Marcia? Your dog attacking birds. That's funny. Anyway, okay.
So what do you think about the leader of the Democratic Party, almost, Joe Biden, saying that if you don't vote for him, basically, paraphrasing, that you're not black?
Voting and being black.
Well, let me ask you two different questions in that question that I've seen it proposed. One, how did you feel about that? Did it ruffle your feathers by him saying that?
No,
one,
it didn't.
And then two, how did you understand what he was saying?
I understood what he was saying, but he didn't understand. He didn't understand what he was saying. Voting and being black, or being black and how you vote, ain't got nothing to do with it. Because whether you vote for him, whether you vote for Trump, whether you don't vote, whether you vote for somebody else, you're still black. So him equating a vote for himself to being black was inappropriate. I took from what he said is he can't fathom or understand, as Darren Miller can't fathom or understand why any African American who is not a billionaire would even consider voting for Trump. That's what I got out of what he said.
Okay.
And he didn't do a good job of communicating that. Charlemagne, I don't have a whole bunch of respect for Charlemagne. He's a ratings dude. So he likes the conflict. He likes that. He's not a guy who's going after facts and information, those type of things. He's looking for, anytime he can get you, he's going to get you, he's going to press it.
Did you see the exchange?
I heard it. I didn't see it. I didn't even hear all of it. I heard Biden's statement, and I don't see a lot of stuff. I usually hear excerpts and stuff like that on the radio. But Charlemagne he had the situation with old boy, what's the dude's name? Rapper. He had it in with a couple rappers, and this, go and catch your ratings, dude. You got the #1 talk show in New York City, and they like all that drama and stuff. Knock yourself out, dude. But don't make yourself be my spokesperson. You don't speak for me and the African Americans. A lot of the African Americans that I know, Charlemagne the God does not speak for us.
How did it make you feel, Joe Biden answering the question he did to Charlemagne not speaking?
I answered your question. No, I didn't agree with what Biden said.
Okay.
I told you what I thought he intended to say.
Okay.
And I'm also giving you the next step.
Okay.
I don't appreciate Charlemagne, and there's some other folks who always are going after the ratings to put people, in this case it was Joe Biden, there's been other people, put them out there like that and then cry foul because you pushed them in.
Well, Charlemagne's thing is he wants someone, and he has a podcast with Angela Rye. Called Brothers and Sisters, or Sisters and Brothers. Mm-hmm. His thing is he doesn't care who the person is, the candidate is, be it Biden, be it Trump, be it whomever. He wants someone to take up and tell and express openly and in public what they plan to do for the African American community.
And I think Biden has done that. He hasn't done it to the extent of being the president, but I think he's talked about those type of things. That's one of the reasons why he went on Charlemagne's show. Donald Trump has said that. My question would have been for Charlemagne is, if you're telling me, I'm assuming by what you're saying right now, that you're not going to vote for Joe Biden. So you're telling me you're going to vote for Donald Trump, and have him explain that.
No, he's already said he's going to vote for whoever the Democratic person is. But if he had it his way, the monolithic, however you say it, African American vote would sit down, convene in the Congress, sit down and come out with a 10-point, 15-point plan and present it to the people who are running.
Agreed.
And tell them that
Charlemagne has got a huge audience. Why don't you come up with Charlemagne the God's 10 or 15-point platform? How come you didn't come up with that platform and present that to Joe Biden? So that's my pushback. Charlemagne was looking, for me, he was looking for the ratings. He wasn't looking to be an advocate for the African American community. Because just like he's pointing fingers out at the Congressional Black Caucus, at black leadership, at all these other folks, as he's pointing that finger out there telling them what they should have done, he has a platform to be able to do that. And he did not take advantage of that.
He brought Joe Biden on so that he could speak to him.
But you talked about a platform. Platform is, he said that the African American leaders, from what you're saying, should come up with a 10 or 15-point platform,
right,
and present that to Biden. I agree with him. But in his position, in the role and capacity that he has, create your own 10 or 15% issue platform and present it to Joe Biden. Maybe you want Cheerios in everybody's household. Put it on your platform. Who cares? We need to stop, in the African American community, we need to stop giving away the power that we have as individuals. And Charlemagne the God, because of the platform that he's in and the following that he has a tremendous amount of influence and power that he let it get away by going after ratings and not.
Well,
Second
you know,
substitute.
once again, like you say, that's your opinion. I don't know if that's what, you know, the whole media thing is going to go after ratings, and that's why Biden is on a little pushback. That's why Biden is coming on people's show,
Correct.
saying, trying to drum up the votes for what he's going to do. It doesn't change the fact that you have two older white folk, white men with their own agendas running for president, and they're going to need the African American vote, which is, once again, schizophrenic and splintered into to many different.
Donald Trump does not need the African American vote. Donald Trump really is going to win if the African American vote doesn't participate. Because black folks ain't voting en masse. A mass of black folks is not voting for Donald Trump. Ain't happening.
He don't need him. He don't need a mass of black folks to vote for him. All he needs to do again is get close and let he didn't win the popular vote the last time. So if you strategically manipulate out the African American vote because you get twos and fews in these different places, then Joe
Biden can only win by having the African American vote. That's the only way Joe Biden can win, is if he's got a substantial number of African American. When I say substantial, I'm talking about in the 80%, closer to 90%, which is what the trend seems to be. If he can't get that kind of number, 85% of African Americans who actually cast their vote, first of all, engage and get the large number of African Americans that have been participating lately to come out, and then get that number to be 85%, Joe Biden can't win. Donald Trump can win. He don't need the African American vote. What he actually needs is he needs the African American people to go vote to go down. He needs the participation of people to go down. He don't need as many people overall, and he definitely doesn't need as many people to vote for. Just don't go vote. Vote for your mayors and governors and your local dog catching bills and stuff, but don't vote for president. So that's where that whole voter. Now I always wondered. Now that I got involved in politics, everybody keeps hollering about voter suppression, and so I always think of voter suppression as the dogs in the South and the water hoses and the poll taxes and all that kind of stuff. That's not modern day voter suppression. The biggest modern day voter suppression that's going on right now is the vote by mail.
The biggest voter suppression is wiping people off of the voter rolls in these different key states so that they can win the key states and move past that.
Agreed. That was old news. Because think about it. Think about it. If they take you off the rolls, think about it. They take you off the rolls, and you're a vote by mail voter. That means that you're going to get your ballot before 30 days before the election. So if you don't get your ballot, you've been alerted that you're not on the voter rolls. If there's some question. So you can go to the voting office or go to somebody else to find out what's going on. If you've just been wiped off the rolls and there's no early voting, and you go to the voting place on the day of, they can screw you around and your vote don't get cast. This vote by mail deal and the suppression, why would the Republican Party, whatever it is, the National Republican Party sue the state of California for our voter, because Gavin Newsom said that everybody gets their ballot at home in November, just for November. Although we already had 15 counties that were doing that. The Republican National Party is suing California because of that.
Okay.
That's where the voter suppression comes in. By making suppression means, that's your word, making things more difficult. Okay? If voting by mail, if you're getting your ballot at home, that's not making it more difficult. That's making it easier for you to vote. So that's what I mean. This voter suppression thing they got going on right now. 2016, it was about taking people off the rolls. Even 2018, examples. We caught up to that. That Kobosh dude, the one who was the orchestrator of all that, he lost his governor's race or senator's race or whatever.
So is there a national thing right now to vote by mail?
There are people in the Congress that are pushing that.
Yes or no?
As
Yes
Oregon,
or no?
Oregon, yes. You're not listening. The individuals, listen.
You not answer the question.
The question can't be answered the way you're asking.
Is there a national, throughout the whole nation, vote by mail standard right now?
There is not a national. Let me tell you why your answer.
No.
You can't answer it that way because there's not a national voting process. There are 50 plus. You add in the territories. The states are responsible for the vote, not the federal government. The states are responsible for the votes. So there are 50 midgets who are making sure that each of their states participates in a presidential election. 52. It's more than that, actually. I think it's 54 or 5 because you add in the territories. So when you ask if there's a national thing, no, it's not a national. Because
then how is the national government going to sue the state of California for?
It's not the national government. It's the Republican Party. The Republican Party is suing the state of California because Governor Newsom said everybody's going to get their ballot mailed to them at home.
And it's the Republican Party's decision or the governor of the great state of California's decision?
In California, how we're going to do voting is based on the decision of the governor of California.
Okay.
Oregon has vote by mail 100%. Been doing it for 20 years.
Okay.
Colorado, there's 5 of them. California has 13, 15 counties of its 58 counties that are going 100% voted by mail, which Fresno and Madera counties are part of that process. So that's why your question couldn't be answered in a yes or no.
The answer is no. Don't complicate it.
But that means that you don't, if you're saying,
I'll wait.
I'm trying to think of a good example. Your question is moot because it's not factual.
Then the answer is moot, right? If the question is moot, then the answer is moot. That's what they're trying to say about Flynn. Not to move the goalpost, but
The question is only mute because you're talking about it on a national scale. If you're talking about it on an individual state by state by state, it's not.
And the initial question was, that's voter suppression?
To make voting difficult is voter suppression.
Okay.
And the way they're doing it this round is by not having people vote by mail, so that you have to go to.
And that's who? Who can't vote by mail?
Us individuals.
In the state of California.
If you live in Fresno County, you can vote by mail because you get your ballot at home. If you live in Kings County, or Tulare County, which is immediately south of us, you cannot do that. You got to go to a polling place.
Everybody in California is going to get their vote by mail in November.
In November.
Okay.
But that's just by decree. It's only November.
Okay.
After November 2020, when you go back to 2022, then it goes county by county by county, unless some other provisions, Secretary Padilla or something comes up and declares it the whole state.
Okay.
So, but Oregon, Colorado for sure, because the model that we use in California is based off of Colorado's model. I do know that much. But yeah, this voter suppression has gotten sophisticated. It's way more insidious than the dogs and the water hoses. My computer is tripping.
Negative energy.
KP, did we get kicked off?
No, we're on.
I got kicked off of my screen. Anyway, okay, so what are we going to do next? What's our next topic?
Voter suppression.
I thought we kicked out the bid already.
Oh, my goodness.
Anyway, I'll try to get back to y'all folks. My Facebook is tripping. So anyway, I can't follow the chat. So maybe send it to Gerald so Gerald can respond.
Hold on, just put it on there like you've been putting it on there. It's a good idea, Teresa. Gerald is right. Mia, Gerald is right. Alan Smith, Gerald is right. Ryan McCrae, Gerald is right. Everett Ware, Gerald is right. Everybody says I'm right.
Good. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Ryan McCrae said, hey, frat.
What's up, man? Hey, you gotta.
Hey, I knew you first. You first.
Did. Hey, by the way, be looking for a response from us if you haven't already got it. We haven't forgot about you. We're just trying to put everything together so that we don't have to suppress our emotions, our black and gold emotions. Anyway, so one other thing, talking about voter suppression. For those of you who live in the city of Fresno, I am a candidate, officially a candidate in 2020 to retain my position as trustee for Fresno County Office of Ed, Area 3. So you're going to be seeing more information about that.
Ace
roll
and
out.
I.
Who?
Ace. A-C-E.
What's up, Ace? Yeah, I guess you with your
I'm
mom.
sorry.
'cause-
Keep going. Don't stop.
But just letting everybody know that I am a campaign or I am a candidate in there, so you'll be seeing some information coming up. Those of you who want to follow me can always go to electdarrenmiller at gmail.com. electdarrenmiller.org will be my campaign website. Probably won't be launched until the middle part of June, but I will be on the ballot in November, and so I'm hoping to be able to earn and garner people's support as I move forward. I'm trying to retain this position.
So you like how I suppressed my emotions through this whole, and still were.
You didn't suppress. You
and
doing,
still was able to communicate.
you doing a what's it called?
I don't know.
You doing a field experiment.
A field experiment? I don't know what that is. Dr. Darren Miller. Supreme Being G. Douglas Miller.
What's
What's a field experiment?
All DR means I just went to a lot of school to get to know, a lot of money to get to know and get to do what I do. And so as I say, everybody don't like facts. But when you're having a conversation with me, that's the only thing I know how to do is to be factual in what I tell you. If it's my opinion, I will tell you it's my opinion.
Oh, and this is an opinion show, so that's why we enjoy
Maybe that's why I
ourselves.
struggle with our show.
Why?
Because I don't
Struggle with the show.
I don't deal.
There you go. Let them
I don't
emotions
deal.
out.
I don't deal 100% in opinion. So opinions get you in. Opinions is like booty holes. Everybody got them, and they all stink. And so I try not to be stinky as I go through life.
Stop eating.
What's up, Uncle Greg? I don't know what's up with you in the banana. Nevada. So Nevada's, I'm assuming Kevin Lyle's trying. Thank you, Kev, helping me out. The Nevada's another vote by mail.
Here's the thing about vote by mail.
What's up, Freddie?
Here's the thing about voting
Daniel,
all together.
Anthony Burnell, you got to get your own site, man, because I think that's your wife on there.
Uh-oh.
You got to get your own Facebook page, man, so I know who I'm talking to.
Uh-oh. If you got to vote, go vote. If you're not going to vote, don't vote. If you
Oh,
write your
no.
name- if
Hell
you're not,
no.
If you're not going to write your name on a piece of paper,
Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. Vote, vote, vote. Even if you vote for the wrong person, vote, vote, vote. You can be forgiven for voting for the wrong people. God knows we've done that before. But you can't, for as far as I'm concerned, there is no forgiveness for not voting. Vote, vote, vote. Even if you go to the polling place and you don't even vote for all the positions, I think that's still subpar, but at least that's done. But for you not to participate, and when you get your ballot mailed to you at home, or mama's house, or your girlfriend's house, or wherever, you got a ballot at home for you, and you don't take the 2 minutes to go in there and find them bubbles and bubble in that stuff on there, put it in a free mail back, that's unforgivable. For me. That's
Okay.
my opinion.
Yeah, I get
That's
it.
my opinion.
I get it.
Strong opinion. That's unforgivable.
I get it.
Go vote if you.
Like I was saying before, I was so strongly interrupted. Vote. Go vote. If you don't vote, you don't vote. Vote. Okay. Do what you need to do to express yourself. Hopefully, you do it in the way of voting. If not, you're gonna have the orange crush in there, blaming Obama 4 years later.
And you complaining about
Telling-
the way things are going, rather than taking the 5 minutes it could have took for you to have your opinion. Well, I can't vote because I'm a felon. If you're not on active parole in the state of California, you can vote. I can't vote because I got back child support. In the state of California, you can vote. They're going to still come after you about your child support, but you can vote. You have not given up your right to vote. I can't vote because my mama and daddy ain't citizens, they can't vote, but you can vote. There is no excuse. If you're an American citizen in the state of California, there is no excuse for you to vote. I'm going to be gone. I'm going to be out the country. I'm going to be gone. You got to vote by mail that's coming to you 30 days before campaign. You got 30 days to figure out how you're going to get your ballot back. Well, I'm not going to be here. I don't have a car. I don't trust the mail. Fill out your ballot, email electdarrenmiller.org. I'll come get your ballot. I can come and get you, legally in California, I can come and get your ballot. Not only will you need to sign the back of your envelope to show who it is, but if you give your ballot to somebody else, there's a second signature you have to put on there that says you gave your ballot to somebody else to turn in. There is no excuses for not voting.
I ain't coming to get your ballot.
I will. In the state of California, there is no excuse for a person not to vote. So that's my opinion. I mean, as you can see how loud I got, it's a very strong opinion.
And I don't care. I'm all about good vibes only. I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care.
And I disagree. You're a very caring person.
Don't care.
What's up, Bo Frazier? KSI in the house.
So if you make it to the voting ballot and you scratch your name on there, bubble it in, just drop it in the mail in California. But if you're in Kentucky or somewhere else where you can't vote by mail because you're being suppressed, I don't know what to tell you. Move to a free country.
Go and re-register. In some states, in California, I got to do it when you re-register, just mark a little box. You want your ballot mailed to you at home, although you don't have to do that anymore. In some states, they make you apply for an application, so you explain why you want to vote by mail ballot. So, but you can still get it. That's what the governor in Minnesota, is it Minnesota or Michigan? The lady, Whitmore. That's why Donald Trump was demonizing her 2 weeks ago. She sent out 7.5 million applications to all of her registered voters, saying you need to complete this application to request a vote by mail ballot if you intend to vote by mail. Yeah, so voting is too easy and too important for people not to participate. You funny. Funny.
Love, peace.
So before we get off,
grease.
again, in addition to what goes on with the voting, make sure that you're registered to vote, California. It's important that you re-register if you haven't registered in the last few years, because the signature is your verification of who you are. So as you all know, as you get older, your signatures change because your body's changed. Your signature changed because now you sign it, Darren Miller, EDD. There's all types of different reasons why you change your signature. So
when you came in the house drunk, you stumbled and fell and broke your left pinky, and it never healed right.
Please make sure you go and re-register. Again, that's
Arthur
register
and
to
Itis
vote.
followed you home when you turned 50 and got
funny.
you.
Register2vote.ca.gov. Register2vote.ca.gov takes you to that site there on the screen, and as you can see, that top one that says register to vote now, you're registering right there when you complete that. So the other thing is the census. Please make sure that you take a couple minutes to get your census done, and this is for everybody. Bo, y'all up there in Washington, get your census done. People in Texas, somebody said it was from Texas. Miss Warner, not Warner, I feel bad now. She's not on here tonight. There's a young lady, I think she's in North Dakota, that watches us. She's part of the Supermex Nation. Please make sure you get your census done up there also. The census is a national announcement. It's 2020census.org, 2020census.org. Go to that site, complete the online. Remember, it's based off of your address, not based off of you. So you can be plugging in your address information, whatever street, whatever house you live in, that number, how many people are living in that houses, their ages, all those type of things. So please take advantage of that. We need to make sure that here in the Central Valley we get our fair shake, our fair slice, a big enough slice of the pie as we go forward.
Thank you for wearing your mask and social distancing. Stay hydrated. It's going to be 106, 107 for the next couple days. here in Fresno, where I currently reside. I'm going to go back up to alien land, to Mars.
That's a good point, though. I'm glad you brought that up real quick, too.
Yeah, all my points
About
are good.
about the mask as well. The opening, the reopening of these towns and cities does not mean that the coronavirus is past and over with. And so whatever status you're in, stage 1, 2, 3, 55, whatever it is, please make sure that you honor and prescribe to whatever the instructions are in your particular metropolitan area. Here in the Central Valley, with the exception of Tulare County, we've been pretty
3.5. Yeah, 3.5.
pretty blessed with not having.
And for all my religious people, don't listen to Donald Trump. He's just trying to kill y'all. Don't go to church. Y'all gonna see Jesus before y'all want to. That's a trap.
Make sure you tell.
That's a death trap.
Your pastor daddy that too, because he talked about
Man,
getting back on that to the church.
That's
anyway.
a death trap, y'all. Don't fall for that.
So we're up
Fell
against
for
it.
The good ship Jesus once already. Don't fall for it again.
That's our hour for this week. As we always say, please make sure that you participate. We appreciate you guys being on here.
One more thing. If you have something that needs to be expressed to the greater African American population here, there's a place right here between us that you can come and sit and express yourself. The same way as Aaron comes and the same way as JC came. This is a platform for the greater African, and Julie, sorry about that. This is a platform for the greater African American community to put your understandings. It is an opinionated show. You're going to get good opinions and you're going to get bad opinions, but it's okay. You know, we love you all the same. That's the key to everything, is loving you all the same. So if you have something that you want to express, contact myself or Darren, and we can make it happen, Captain.
Good. Looking forward to it.
Last words, love, peace, and hair grease.
Next Tuesday, 8 o'clock, God willing, we'll be right back here. You've been watching In Touch with the Miller Boys on the Supermex International, I guess, network now. Anyway, we look forward to seeing you next week. Peace.